Happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. I hope that you're having a wonderful time connecting with family and community, that you're getting rest. This seemed like an appropriate moment to share a section from Kelly Hayes and Miriam Kaba's book, Let This Radicalize You. This is one of the best books I've read this year. I've read it now 3 times. I first got it from the library and I had to go buy a paper copy because I enjoyed it so much. Late in the book, there is a chapter on avoiding burnout and going the distance. And I want to read a little bit of that to you here. We don't just need rest, we also need rejuvenation. Organizing never felt like a choice for Morningstar Golly. I was raised within it, she told us. I was born at the AIM, that's the American Indian Movement for Freedom Survival School. I didn't have a choice to say no, and I'm okay with that. Golly, a longtime Native organizer and a member of the Ajumawi Band of the Pit River Nation, has coordinated the annual Thanks-Taking gatherings at Alcatraz for over 12 years. Golly was born at a time when Native people were rising up. The commitment and sacrifice of the organizers helped her understand that in matters of justice, we all have a responsibility individually and collectively. But as an organizer who has navigated environmental devastation, the impacts of the opioid crisis, the missing and murdered Indigenous women and MMIR work, and more, Golly is no stranger to burnout. She told us that balance and reciprocity are crucial to sustainable organizing. To understand what we owe to the earth and what we owe to each other, we must recognize our place within a larger webwork of interdependent life. As a permaculture person who believes in earth care, people care, and fair share, and understands that part of people care and part of fair share is making sure that we nurture ourselves, that we give ourselves time for rest and rejuvenation, I appreciated this next passage so much. We all have a responsibility to care for our communities and to care for the earth. And again, it is that reciprocal relationship, and it's part of how we're in balance with ourselves, in balance with our communities, in balance with our tribal communities, and how it was historically. We all had a place and we all had a role within our tribal villages. It's just fulfilling that little part that you can do to help take care of one another. Embracing interdependency and rejecting individualism can help us develop sustainable practices of balance in our organizing. Yep, I'm constantly saying there's no such thing as self-sufficiency. It's all about community interdependence. So much of what we're going through right now is rooted in the toxic individualism upon which America was founded by settler colonialists. Rejecting that individualism and embracing the reality that we are all connected. We all have to depend on each other. That's how we form those mutual aid support networks. That's how we get through this. At the same time, we must take seriously the daily personal practices that can nurture our well-being and that can easily become compromised amid a heated struggle or campaign. I think rest is a big one, Golly told us. None of us get enough rest. To resist exhaustion, Golly has started going to bed as early as 8 p.m. and just shutting my phone off. She has a daily practice of prayer and meditation and greeting the sun as soon as I'm up. Golly believes daily rituals are important. There's a medicine that I'll boil for the day, she told us. I'll throw in some cedar and some orange or some lemon slices from our trees in the backyard, some wormwood, not only for internal respiratory health, but also to clear the air and try to reset in that sense. However, rest alone will not sustain us or our movements. Not only do we need rest, we need rejuvenation, Golly said. In her own pursuit of rejuvenation, she turns to the wisdom of movement elders. Our elders talk a lot about in our fight to protect sacred places, in our fight for clean water, for clean air, for the land. We need to go to it. We need to go to those places. I think we don't make it down as often as we'd like to, of course, but when I was living back home under tribal lands, it was an everyday practice of just being at the creek or being at the water, just putting my feet in the creek. Sometimes Golly would make her way to the creek on her lunch break. Just that little bit of rejuvenation and being back in touch with the land and the water was enough to sustain her, she told us. Golly acknowledged that our responsibilities and life circumstances can get in the way of such excursions, but she emphasized the need to find rejuvenation when and where we can. She no longer lives near the creek she used to dip her feet in daily, but when she can, she packs up her family and she heads for the water. I bring our family dog and bring the kids and go down to the water and just make some offerings there. Put our prayers down to give whatever heaviness that we're carrying from that day, just being able to give it away in that sense and not hold on to it. Is there a place that makes you feel whole or revived in some way? How often are you able to inhabit that place? If that place is inaccessible, what ritual or experience brings you closest to it? What practices or experiences help you experience a sense of renewal? Are these practices an ongoing part of your life?